Hey there, and happy Tuesday. So Belle Harder here, inspiring others. So my goal these next couple days is to maybe give you inspiration overload, but I have ideas and I just want to pass them along. And as the weather starts to turn and get cooler, people just tend to reach out to their craft supplies more, their home more, want to do cozy crafting more. And so I want to provide you with some inspiration to get you going with that, because a lot of you have the supplies or don't know where to start with the supplies, but I want to start with giving you guys ideas. So from the Traditions of Christmas, it's a beautiful, beautiful package of paper. Hello there, Elaine. And it was out for a while. It's back in stock. And if ever you need just even a package of paper and you live local, or you know I'll be seeing you, let me know. It's something that's very easy for me to add to orders, and it's very easy to connect with most of you as well. And so I've always got orders going in. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm always ordering. All right, so let me get my camera turned around and get you started. These are some pretty simple cards, and I know you guys appreciate when I give you the simple cards and ideas like that. I think we all need that simple button in our lives, and so this will help you. So before I get started, I'll show you here. Let me get my camera angle better, or my lighting. So both of these are using the Traditions of Christmas Designer Series paper packet, and this one has a little fun fold to it, and this one is using the die cuts for the paper to cut that right out of it. So let's start with the easy fun fold. I'm loving the Secret C, and every time I use it, people are like, ooh, what's the name of this color? And when it first got shown to us as an in color, it was interesting because we couldn't see it in person. We just saw pictures of it in the catalog or on displays, and so it was hard to tell if it was maybe a dark grayish black. Was it a dark blue? Did it have some green or teal into it? And so yeah, a very dark blue color. And if you know me at all, I love my blues, so this is why I love this. And then it opens this way, and like so. So for the base of this, how it starts is I have my Secret C, and pretend like you were just using a regular, actually I should open it this way because then it looks like a normal regular open that way. But what I do is I just cut off an 1 1/8 off of that strip, and then this is what this becomes here. And so that I'm just going to set aside for now. No, actually I'm gonna go with this. I'm going to go with this, okay? And then I score it, I want to make sure I have that, at 1.5 inches. So I have a little score here, like so, and anytime I score, I like to go over it with my bone folder to give it a good crease there. And normally I go with the outside of the card first and then work on the inside, but I want to grab and do the inside, and this will make sense why here in a bit. So I'm going to open up my Cherry Cobbler ink pad, and also I have this white strip, and this is going to go on here as well. And this measures 7/8 of an inch this way by 3 5/8. So that's the measurements for this white strip. And so I'm going to ink this up, Bright and Happy Christmas Wishes. I'm going to put it to the right side of my strip there, and that'll make sense here in a little bit. All right, so that's for the front, and then we're going to work on the inside, and that's just my standard 4 by 5 1/4. I'm sticking with that same measurement for the inside. It will pop out beyond this, but it'll kind of also not only get covered up, but it will also serve as kind of a backing, like that 1/4 inch mat that I love to do when it comes to matting layers. So it'll kind of layer and build up the card. All right, so before I put this on, I'm going to just kind of assemble my little flap piece here. So I've got this, and I'm just going to lay that down on my flap. Oops, I'm gonna scoot it over, which doesn't work if I'm holding it down with my finger. Okay, so here's my flap, and I'm just going to get some adhesive on my flap here, And then I'm going to flip this over and get my adhesive on here as well. Actually, I think I'm done with this. I'm just gonna close that so that I don't accidentally get ink anywhere. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Okay, so this is going to get put in the inside of my card, and I'm just going to kind of go like that and press it down. But then before I scoot it in there, I'm going to just put that little tab. It's already got the adhesive on there. I'm going to put that in there under this. So that's where that fun fold comes into play. So now it comes together really fast because we've got this beautiful Traditions of Paper DSP, and the pretty side measurement is 3.5 by 4.75. So that means the cherry cobbler behind it now, or excuse me, the Real Red. This is, wait a minute, hold on. Cherry cobbler. Yes, I was like, I thought my note said Real Red, and I'm like, it sure looks like cherry cobbler. Okay, so that means that this is then 3.75 by, hold on. Okay, so pretty paper. Let me, I confused myself. 3.5 by 4.75. So 3.75 for my cherry cobbler by 5 inches. So those are the two measurements for this, and then they're ready to put together. So very quick and easy. If you want to show off paper, I know there's so many times people are like, I don't want to cut into that paper, it's so pretty. Well, if you do a design like this, you're still going to be able to show off your paper in minimal effort, and you'll love that you did that. Hi there, Marilyn. And so for this, then I'm just going to add my adhesive. I want to leave this open so that it doesn't adhere to that white cardstock where we don't want it. So I'm just going to put 3 strips of adhesive on that side, and this is where I'm going to line up to make sure I kind of include that basic white matting in there like so. So we've got pretty paper, cherry cobbler, basic white, and secret C all within about 1/4 of an inch there. And then this still makes the fold over for that. And then of course I love to decorate this flap as well. And it doesn't take a lot, but we've got that new Real Red shiny ribbon. Just love it, especially for the holidays. But I'm thinking now that I'm already wanting to get more of it, because I always tell people anytime there's red ribbon or anything that's red, that's any kind of embellishment or extra add-on, I like to think, okay, we turn around and the next holiday that we're going to start crafting for after Christmas is Valentine's. And so you're going to want to make sure that you have plenty of your red and white and pink supplies for that. So I'm just gonna give this a little trim, just tying a knot around that little tab and giving it just the tiniest little trim. Makes for a cute little bow there. So that's kind of fun. I don't have any cute critters today that I know of for Maryland, but keep in mind, I'm going to be doing kind of a, I don't know, what do they call that on TV when they just keep playing the same episodes over, a marathon. So I'm going to be doing a crafting marathon as long as my time allows, or until I get interrupted by my hubby or something. All right, and then I've got some rhinestones here, and actually looks like all of my big ones are gone, so I'm going to open up a new package because I like the looks of the big rhinestone kind of anchoring down the middle spot. Doesn't have to be the biggest, but even if here's my take your pick tool, take kind of this medium one, this will be good for this project. So I like to start in that middle with that one, and then I'll come back on each side with the 2 smaller rhinestones. When my friend Kirsten was here helping me cut cardstock and the dies and such, we worked way too long on trying to decorate just this little piece, and which embellishment looked the best, and I'm sure you can all relate to that sometimes, how that goes. All right, so just adding that just adds that little bit of sparkle, and the paper already has that gold foil in there, so it's pretty fun. So that comes together very, very quickly. All right, and because that one comes together quick, I'm going to show you a second card using that same Designer's Series paper here. And this one was one that I designed for a class just last night. same paper. So I should bring this over and show you. You can see it kind of looks like just bits of paper. If you look at it, you're like, that doesn't even look right, right? It's because I have all my scraps thrown in here. And I hadn't used this one yet, and I wanted to. And as I get going with this, I'll kind of stop and show you where this was headed. And then I decided to change gears last minute, like yesterday, just a couple hours before I was supposed to leave for the class. I thought, I do not like that card. And even my husband said, honey, that's not your best work. And I appreciate that. So what I did is I die cut these. Sometimes I will bring the sheet to class and let people pick. Do you want pink and red, all red, some white and blues? Let them choose. And last night, just because I had a larger group, I just went ahead and cut them all out. They could still pick, but it just seems to help smooth the class out when I can do some of that stuff ahead of time. Hi there, Marlis. And I know a lot of times people are like, oh, you spoil us. And other times maybe they would wish, if it's a tricky die cut. Last night there was another kind of tricky die cut. They probably wish that I would have done that for them as well. But people also love using the embellishments and the supplies. And the die cuts and all of that. They love the choices. They like to kind of have that independence as well. So for this one, how it starts is I have some real red cardstock opening up this way. And then ahead of time, I took a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white and just ran that then through my Christmas Peaceful Greenery 3D embossing folder. So this is part of that suite with the Peace on Earth dies, those beautiful doves, a lot of blues in that suite. So I pulled over this embossing folder for this reason. And then I can just go ahead and attach this on here. And so I love using some things that are a little bit different. Sometimes with those 3D embossing folders, my Seal Plus or Seal likes to pull up on that, especially if I use my Seal Plus. Oops. Oh, now my finger's stuck in there. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, so now that's ready to go down onto my card base, like so. And then what I did from that same Peace on Earth, so think of those doves and all that pretty stuff from the mini catalog. In that die set, we've got those two kind of framing decorative, I call them, I don't know, like labels or whatever, but they're so versatile, so useful. So what I did ahead of time is cut one from the white and one from gold foil. So the larger one, gold foil, so it's so pretty. And I almost am sad when I have to come back and take the smaller die and cover it up. But you'll see why. It's going to look really, really special. Sometimes I wish I knew a different project where I could do that paper saving technique where you just kind of cut something out of there in gold foil, just so that I would have something cut out of it instead of just covering it up. I don't know if you think like I do. All right, so that's on there, and now that's going to fit directly in that little kind of well left from that embossing folder. So already it just looks so pretty. And before I put that in there, I'm going to take that same shiny real red ribbon from our last card here. It's also in the mini catalog. All the stuff's in the mini catalog. The Peace on Earth dies is unavailable as of right now, and I kind of have people that I'm waiting to order for. They're waiting to order it too. It was supposed to be in this week, which of course when it says the week of November 17th, when November 17th comes, like I want that in as well as everybody else does. So hopefully it will be in very soon. I keep kind of checking throughout the day, each day, even on Friday, because sometimes things come in a little bit early as well. So here we just have a little, I call it a scarf. It's not a bow, but it's just a little knot, but a scarf knot, because you know how you kind of just tie a knot and it just kind of goes whoop like that. Think around somebody's neck. That's, I don't know, that's what it looks like to me. That's no technical term, but that's my little jam for that type of tie that I do like so, and just put it off to the side. So now that's still gonna go in there, and I didn't want to put dimensionals on that because I know we're gonna do some more building up here with that die. All right, so the die, like I said, I took and cut this out of the designer series paper, just so slick. I did find another card that is just beautiful. So with the stamp set that goes with this, hold on, because it's gonna bug me. I have it right here. I kind of want to show you so you can picture and get more versatility out of what you're doing. Oh, maybe I do have it put away. So the stamp set that you can just ink this up like in black ink. They even inked it up in Secret Sea. It's the Traditions of Christmas, I think, or Greenery. Christmas Greenery, that's what it is. Christmas Greenery stamp set. They inked it up in Secret Sea and just kind of did a color wash, and then they made their whole card monochromatic, and they did some stamping, the Secret Sea ink as a background stamp with Secret Sea stamped images, and then just popped this up, and it almost looked for any type of season. It doesn't have to be Christmas. So I always like to think outside of the box when it comes to Christmas greenery and things like that. Not only that stamp set, but other ones. So yes. All right, so now this is where I'm going to switch gears. So remember how I said this busy paper, I really wanted to use it because I felt like I hadn't done much with this pattern yet, and which surprises me because even the Secret Sea backing on here, I love that pattern. I love that color. You'd think I'd like popped on this one first. So originally this card wasn't in my class lineup, but I was gearing towards this, just using that busy paper and kind of toning it down a little bit, still using the same embossing folder here and sticking out of the edges. And I really liked how it looked on the old olive with those edges coming out. So I thought, well, that's fun. Put it on real red, like coordinated that bow, and I wanted the focal point to be to put that bouquet of flowers on like so, but it was too busy where this just didn't pop. It just didn't feel special. And so took it down 100 notches. So when you see the busyness of everything going on here and how plain this one is, and look how that just looks special. This just did not look special. It looked like chaos among the chaos. So that one got set aside, like I said, just an hour or two before I was supposed to leave, a couple hours before I was supposed to leave for my class. So not only did I know, Belle, if you change this up, you have to have time to cut all the supplies for the class. So I kind of felt like I was being a little crazy, but I was so glad I did. Especially when one person held up their created card and said, I think this one is my favorite card of the night. I just melted and went, oh, thank you. Because it was like, that made it seem all the more worth it that I had changed that out. So I just put some dimensionals on there to pop that up. And then to get this to kind of kick out, if you think, oh, it just seems like it wants to go like that, there again, always rely back on your mini glue dots for just kind of forcing things to go where maybe they don't want to. So I just kind of tuck that down underneath there, and then I can kind of hold it underneath that flower, and now it's just going to lay there and look like it's supposed to. And even for the other one, we can add a second one, because sometimes adding the first one makes the other one go a little wonky. So do that same technique, just like lay a glue dot there, and then it'll still pop up, but it just kind of lays that base down for that technique to pull that off. So for the stamping on the outside, this time I'm going to grab my Real Red ink pad, and we have a new banner sayings stamp set available, and I don't know if I've shown it yet on my videos. So Banner Sayings has, and this is an online exclusive, that's why I want to make sure that you see it. It's got some very versatile verses on there. Love it. So I pulled the Celebrate from there, and then this is going to get punched out with that new 3-banner punch, and this can be purchased as a bundle, online exclusive if you need any help finding it. I've even had some people say, oh, if it's online, I can't order it because it's not in a catalog. Everybody can. I like to let people know that, but I also like to let people know I am here to help you. So I'm just going to ink up that little Celebrate Real Red on there. And then I love that there's 3 choices. So you've got kind of the banner cut on both sides, the one that goes in, and then the one that goes out. I'm actually going to choose the one that goes out, and I want it to be this way. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of center that, give that a punch like so. I did, thank you, Missy. I missed you last night, but it was a fun night. I had 17 people sign up, so it was a nice class, but it just seemed so quiet. Like I kept saying, it doesn't seem like there's very many people here. Just the flow went really, really well. So it was good. And June was there, so that always makes my night as well as everybody else. But June is what? Is she 93 now? And I don't know if she's missed one of my classes. She did one time. She admitted last night. One time she forgot and just didn't show up. But yeah, she has more energy than I do. All right. So I'm just going to take that celebrate there and just kind of tuck that in off to the side. And of course, for embellishments, we've got these great coordinating traditions of Christmas embellishments here. They lay super, super flat, and you've just got to love the sparkle, the shimmer and shine that is on there. And so I'm just going to take my tool here. I'm going to pick up just a little gold one, because that's about all the space that there is there, but it's still going to make that look special. And I'm just going to put a red one. Oops, wants to jump. There we go. Just going to put one of the little red ones down there. So I'm just going to put a couple of them because we kind of have the ribbon going here, and I'm just going to add that for a little extra sparkle and shine. And for the inside, I'm going to go back and grab my red ink pad and that same inside verse as the last card. May the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. And I'm just going to give that a quick shake to dry. And then that can go down on my standard 4 by 5 1/4 inside. So like I said, very simple, but sometimes in the chaos of the season, that's what this reminded me of. This card seemed chaotic, and I just thought, like, it just had so much chaos. That's the last thing we need, is to craft chaos, send chaos, or be chaotic during the season. And so when I switched from that to this, it just like settled my whole being to think like, okay, this is just like that understated beauty, all done with the gold foil and the pretty paper, and then kind of coordinating that with the gold foil cutouts from the dies as well. So there you have it. So if you're joining and missed the first card, that's in the beginning of the video. So I'm going to be filming or just taking photographs of the still shots and posting that, as well as the shopping links. I hope you guys appreciate the shopping links. It's another step that takes me a little bit longer, but I feel like anything, like when I want to shop, I just want to know how to find it, where it is, check out prices, check out to see if anything else coordinates with it. So that's why I put those in the links, and hopefully that's helpful for you as well. And then the videos here on Facebook only last for 30 days. So that's why I also take the time to post those on YouTube as well. So hopefully you can see those later as well. So, all right. And do another video, because like I said, I just feel like I'm just full of inspiration and want to share that with you. So take care. Bye-bye.